Petey. Good boy. Oh.
All those flowers are in one plant. And I'm not sure what it is. It's got a thing about this big on there right now. It's kind of green.
Just one?
Yeah, I'll show you. I've only seen one so far. It's right about where you're at right now. It's right in there somewhere. It's right at the edge of my path. If it had been out here, I'd have cut it.
Oh,
since it was right there, I thought, well, we'll see what it's going to be.
That whole thing?
Yeah, it's all one plant.
Hopefully you're going to have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Kaye here. I am back at Bamboo Oasis, my friend Darrell's place. And you know, one of the most popular topics on YouTube are medicinal plants. And today we're going to take a look at holy basil. We're going to harvest holy basil and talk about all of its benefits, as well as check out some other wild medicinal plants that are growing right here. So don't go anywhere.
Now we got it.
This is holy basil, and it's just getting ready to go to seed, so we are going to clip all of these branches. We're going to leave a section down below so he can collect seed, and then all of this is going to be cut. You're going to leave a plant there. What will happen to it?
It'll die in the wintertime.
Okay. Will it come back on its own?
I don't think so.
Okay, you'll plant it back.
That's why I'm keeping seed. I'll just grow it each year.
Okay. Like that?
Fine tune it. Yeah, we'll fix it up later. That's all right.
Okay.
Come on, Pete. Okay,
right
yeah, that could take a little while. It's an amazing plant. It's truly amazing. Okay, and this, all this, the growth that you see here, that all happened this year. You know, I just planted a seed. I started them early indoors under lights, but they weren't real big when I put them out. So this is all just the season's growth. And I'm harvesting these later than what I would consider peak time.
You were waiting for me.
Because, you know, they're setting their flowers that are already starting to make seed. If you see some of these, if you look, they look a little brown. So this is a little late. It's, you know, if you're wanting to use the leaves of the herb, as that's what you're after, then you really should harvest it before it starts to flower, just right before it starts to flower. But some herbs you want the flowers, so you got to wait for them. Like behind Kaye, if you see those brownish, that's anise hyssop back there. And I'm letting all that go to seed and let that seed dry. I want just a permanent planting of anise hyssop in that spot, and it'll drop enough seed that it'll probably come up just fine next year. I harvest the leaves and the flowers for tea if I'm wanting to harvest it, and so that would be one you would wait till it actually does flower. So anyway, let's talk about all the magical things this plant can do. Now you can eat the leaves, you can make tea with the leaves, or you can smoke the leaves. Primarily it is what they call an adaptogen, which means it helps you...
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it helps you counter life's stresses. Anybody stressed out these days and, you know, just watching the news or anything? I mean, you should have a cup of holy basil tea before you turn on the news these days. All right, so it is an antidepressant and anti-anxiety, and it makes you more social. So it kind of cheers you up and makes you a pleasant person, you know? I mean, that's pretty magical. Okay.
I think I need that.
Yeah, everybody could use a little bit of that. All right, it's a sleep aid if you have trouble going to sleep. This will relax you and help you go to sleep.
I need that.
It is an anti-inflammatory. That's a very important thing, and you know.
Everybody needs that.
Yeah.
Because inflammation is like the cause of almost every disease.
Exactly, that'd be the root of everything. So, if you have it growing indoors, now see, that's something I could do. I could dig one of these plants up. Of course, not let it go to seed and bring it indoors, and it would grow some more leaves for me in the winter, but I'm not going to do all that. But if you have it growing indoors, it is an air purifier in your house.
Ooh.
It absorbs sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and carbon monoxide, and some other things. So it's an air purifier. Okay, this plant is also called TULSI, T-U-L-S-I. It's from India. I guess that's a word from India, and it means the incomparable one. So they highly revere this plant for its healing properties. I'm not done with the list yet. but they consider it to be that it brings you wealth, luck, and beauty.
We need all of those.
It's an aid if you have diarrhea. It
Really?
normalizes blood sugar and blood pressure and cholesterol levels.
Wow.
It helps type 2 diabetes sufferers.
Wow.
Okay, it's an immunity booster. It reduces fever and pain.
My goodness.
It reduces cold, cough, and other respiratory disorders.
It's like, why do you need anything else?
I know, it's the all-around healing plant. And we're still going down the list. There's more.
Wow.
It has anti-cancer properties. It's good for heart health. It's useful with kidney stones and gouty arthritis. It helps processing grief and fear. It elevates mood and spirit. It's rich in vitamin A, C, and K, and minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, iron, potassium, and zinc. And it's even a mosquito repellent. I don't know, they don't mention how, maybe if you have it burning or something, I don't know.
Well, it has a strong scent.
Yeah, maybe you can make a salve and put it on and use it that way.
Yeah.
And finally, everybody wants this, it slows aging. So it's a magical plant. Everyone should be growing this.
So the $94,000 question is, how do you use it to get all those benefits?
Well, like I said, you got 3 ways. You can eat the leaves, you can make a tea and drink it, or you can smoke it.
Fresh leaves?
Yeah, you can eat the fresh leaves, yeah.
Okay.
So you got eating, drinking, or smoking. All 3 ways. Now, you know,
Okay.
when you smoke an herb, you get the effects immediately.
Right.
If you eat or drink the herb, it can take a while before you feel any change or anything.
Yeah, you need to drink several cups a day to get all those, to cover all those bases.
Yeah, they recommend 3 cups a day of this if you're on a healing regimen or something.
And in a seasonal climate, it's only going to be fresh during, the growing season.
Right,
So,
that's why you want to dry it.
so you want to dry it and then
Yep.
you have it. Can I hand this to you before I get up?
All right.
All right.
Now that we have all this, what I'll do next is I'll grab a few branches, 3 or 4, and bundle them together, and then hang them upside down in a darkened room with some airflow, and let them get dried out, pretty much, and then I'll finish them off, make them real crispy in my dehydrator, and then I just strip all the leaves and the flowers. I'll just strip them all together, and
So something like that?
yeah, maybe another branch even.
Okay.
That one's too much, not that big a one. Yeah. Here, get this top one here.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Just bundle that and have a bunch of bundles hanging across. I got a rope tied across in my room,
Yeah.
and I can hang a bunch.
And then dry it, and then you were saying?
But yeah, when you're drying herbs, I mean, that's important. They need to be dried in the dark, not with light on them at all. You don't want to get too hot with them. You can just put them in a paper bag and stick them in a hot car and dry them in a few hours. But that's way too high of a temperature. It degrades the quality of what you're working with. So just a little bit over 100 degrees is kind of ideal for drying herbs, and in the dark. So, if you have a dark room, put a fan blowing right on the herbs.
Oh.
And it'll dry them out a lot faster. Just a small fan, just to keep the air moving.
Mm-hmm.
And the temperature, doesn't have to be hot. It could be room temperature if you're doing that.
Okay. If you start bringing these live plants into your house, are you bringing a bunch of bugs? I mean, you just do or you don't?
Yeah, you probably bring a few. It's never been a problem that I've.
Okay. Because you'll see in my elderberry video, I had spiders.
Oh,
so many spiders crawling up my arms.
Nah, I think it'll be all right.
All right.
Now we're going to work a little bit with this plant. This is cinnamon basil, and I don't know that it's medicinal. It may have some qualities, but it's a cooking herb. It tastes cinnamony and basil-y. That's why they call it cinnamon basil. So part of this plant kind of came on later in the season, and it has fresh flowers instead of like these are getting older and starting to set seed. So I'm going to let that go and be seed. But these younger ones, I want these young leaves. I'm going to harvest and dry for cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just crush it up into small pieces and just sprinkle it on.
Mm-hmm. Same idea for this one?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Same cutting idea? Okay.
Yep, same thing. If you see green leaves, that'll be a good one. Now that's one you shouldn't have cut.
I shouldn't have cut that one. Oh, and see all these.
Yeah, just look for the green leaves. Like
Okay.
here, I'll hold this back. get this right here,
Okay.
and then that over there, and that'll be about it.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot more. And a couple branches and that one. Yep.
I'll just get this whole thing.
That's it. That's good. And then those over there, and that's it.
Okay.
Man, it smells strong, doesn't it?
It does. It's wonderful. It makes me hungry. Hungry for something. I think that's it.
I use it when I cook chicken. I put
I was thinking of that.
cinnamon basil. It's pretty good. I use lemon basil and cinnamon basil.
Did you grow lemon basil?
Yeah, it's right over here.
Okay.
Okay, this plant, which also is flowered and about to go to seed, this is lemon basil. And I do want to, I'm going to harvest some of this. I don't do a big harvest in one day. I want to do it in stages. So while this is in the dryer, I got something else hanging and whatnot. And this is regular basil right here. Just, you know, plain old basil.
Italian Genovese.
Yeah.
The leaves, this leaf is kind of tough.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, if you're harvesting your herbs for the leaf, you want to do it before it starts to go to flower, because it's going to have its full flavor and it's what you want, you know, what you expect. Once it starts to put its energy into flowers and making seeds, that the leaves kind of lose something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like tough and
Really?
and almost a little bit bitter.
Yep, they get more bitter. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, our intention today was to go around and show you several medicinal plants that grow wild around here. And right up at the top of my list was mullein. And it's so common that when I see it growing somewhere like a walking path, I just weed eat it out of the way, because I figure there's others that I'll just let grow. And it's a 2-year plant, so it's going to be there for 2 years before you finish out. It's a biennial. So anyway, I just didn't really pay attention this year. And I did weed eat some mullein. I remember doing that. And now when I go around looking, I can't find a mullein plant. I wiped out the mullein on my property, apparently. And the birds will bring it back. I'm not worried, but it'll come back again. So anyway, all I have to show you is some dried mullein that, that I dried actually just a couple years ago. But, you know, you get in the first years when you want to get the leaves. They're great big, and they're real fuzzy, like a, really soft and fuzzy kind of thing. I just dry it and then crumble it up into small pieces. And that's why you can make a tea with that, or you can smoke that. Okay, the benefits of mullein are, one, it's an expectorant. And that's whether you drink it as a tea or you smoke it. And it helps you clear mucus if you have a bronchitis or something like that. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you would smoke some mullein for quick relief, and it would help you get your mucus out. It also has sedative qualities. So it could be a sleep aid if you're trying to relax and go to sleep. So that, I'd probably think maybe tea would be best for that.
But this is all fuzzy. This is dried and all fuzzy. So what, did you put the flowers and the leaves together?
No. I harvested this in the first year. There are no flowers.
Okay, right.
Till the second year. So, and the leaves are better quality the first year, because that's what the plant's focused on. It's making these big leaves in a rosette.
It's very fuzzy.
Yeah.
So how would you smoke that now? Put it in a rolling paper and roll it up to smoke it for
absolutely, yeah.
an expectorant.
Yeah, or if you don't like that, just put it in a small bowl and set it on fire. It kind of smolders and makes smoke, and let it get in the room. Close the door and be in a room with a smoky mullein smoke, But, it's a little better. I would think actually drawing it through a pipe or something, it's going to put it right in there quick than just in the air,
Right. Also, you didn't talk about tinctures, and
Sure.
what I'm hoping to do is make a tincture of the fresh leaves, and that is something that you can also use for the same benefits,
right.
expectorant and all that, right? This is chicory, and how long has it been in bloom?
I don't know, a good 3-4 weeks, I guess it's been blooming. These are so nice. If you can get a cluster of these, 15 or 20 of these all growing together, man, it's so beautiful. It's a real eye catcher with that color. It's a pretty plant.
That petal I just ate didn't have really any taste. I didn't notice
Yeah,
any.
well, it is that you can eat the leaves. The leaves are pretty much off of this now. It's put its energy into making seed.
So are we collecting it or
no,
just talking about it?
We're just talking about this one because it's not ready yet. Now some of these pods have turned brown. I could come up here and collect some of these brown pods because I'm assuming there's a seed in there or several. Okay, so just like holy basil, Chicory has a pretty long list of things it'll do for you. The root is the main thing that's used medicinally. It's also, you may recognize that name, and it's a coffee substitute. Okay,
Yeah.
there's no caffeine in it, so you're not going to get a coffee buzz, but it tastes a lot like coffee. And so sometimes the companies will mix a little chicory in with their coffee and serve it.
I remember that chicory flavored coffee or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and you know, back in the Depression, and they couldn't get coffee during World War II, maybe whatever, they were making chicory just to have the coffee flavor and all.
And it comes from what you use comes from the root.
The root, you dry it and turn it into a powder then. And, you know. So here's some of the properties of the roots. They are anti-inflammatory, another good thing. They are packed with prebiotic fiber inulin, 68% by dry weight. So it's a prebiotic that's good for you.
That sounds impressive.
Yeah, and that's only the first two.
And these are all from the root?
Yeah, this is all root. Okay. It aids in bowel movements. It helps you control your blood sugar. It helps with weight loss. It's a sleep aid because it has sedative qualities. It improves your hair quality.
Ooh.
How about that one? And it lowers high cholesterol.
That's what I need.
Well, there you go.
So I need chicory root powder, right?
Yep, chicory root powder. You can,
okay. That's awesome. And is this the only plant you
This
know
is
of?
the only one I have here, yeah. And I'd love for it to spread and come up other places because, I mean, I've mowed around it and weed eated around it and leave it here. It's not really in the way, but kind of at the edge of being in the way. So I left it. You can add it to your coffee.
Yeah,
has the health benefits, makes your coffee healthier.
We'll make another video and you'll make coffee. We'll grind it and you'll make coffee.
Black-eyed Susan.
I think that's what they are.
All right, this is the other medicinal herb we wanted to talk about. These leaves right here, this is dock. It's pretty common. Most likely you can find it on your property if you got a little property to look around on. It's very medicinal, and like, you know, a lot of parts of the plant are medicinal. The leaf juice you can use for a compress on bruises. It helps heal bruises. So you can mush up the leaves and make a compress, you know, if you can get some juice out of them. Then you can use the seeds for cough, cold, and bronchitis. Now, it didn't go into detail what you need to do. I'll let you guys do your own research on that. But the seeds have that quality.
Okay.
And the roots are good for jaundice, liver problems, skin ailments, rheumatism, constipation, and diarrhea. So it sounds like it regulates your digestive tract.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it works for constipation and diarrhea, that's kind of a normalizing thing. All right, we've talked a bunch about using plants to heal yourself. And I know to some people that seems like a foreign idea. I mean, we've all been raised on, you go to the doctor, you buy your pharmaceuticals, and you know, things that heal you come in little plastic bottles or in a needle or something like that. So for some people, this might be somewhere they don't want to venture, or, you know, it's not familiar territory. So I just suggest you know, listen to people that do it and read up on it a little bit, because it's true medicine. It's the medicine we had forever until recently when we started all this pharmaceutical stuff. So thinking about that, it relates to something that I remember from high school days. I was reading some Henry David Thoreau books. It might have been Walden Pond. I'm not sure which book I got this quote out of, but it deeply impressed me as a high school student. I really resonated with it, apparently, because I copied it in large block letters, and across from corner to corner in my bedroom, I had it hanging. So every time I walk in my bedroom, I'm going to read that and be reminded of that. And what it said was, as long as possible, live free and uncommitted. Now, as a high school student, I mean, free, okay, I know what he means by that, but I wonder what he means by uncommitted exactly. And as a high school student, I took that to mean, don't walk into a career early in life. Don't get married. Don't make commitments like mortgages, and don't lock your life up. You know, remain free and uncommitted. So I tried to live my life that way for a long time. Throughout my life, I always would think back on that. But now, with what's going on in the world today, I have a new take on what I think I know better what he was trying to say. What he meant by remain uncommitted is don't be so dang closed-minded. Okay, that's what he meant. And it's like, if someone comes up to you and they're presenting a new idea that's foreign to you, or maybe you don't even like what they're saying, just hear it out. You know, that's closed-mindedness. That's getting us nowhere. With all that's going on in the world today, if we don't get together as a people and do for ourselves and resist the tyranny that's coming all around us, and we can't do that, we can't communicate with each other if we don't maintain an open mind. And so I think that's what Henry David Thoreau is trying to tell me. Basically, it's just all about maintaining an open mind throughout life and treating everyone as an equal, and that whatever they think is going on might be valid. Give it a chance. Listen to what they have to say. You might be wrong. You know, Carl Sagan used to always, I read some of his books, and, you know, he'd talk about billions and billions of stars, and he'd go into great detail how this works and how that system happens, and then at the end, he'd always add, but I could be wrong. Okay? We should all live that way. Okay? Mm-hmm. No one should be so sure about what they believe that that's the only truth, and, you know, keep an open mind. There's lots to be learned from other people, and we all need to be working together and uniting more than dividing. They want us divided. We got to fight that.
Mm-hmm. We could unite over medicinal plants.
There you go.
I mean, who could argue with that?
Right.
Right?
No, it doesn't turn anymore.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, a little bit.
Turns a little bit. Whoops.
So it hits that thing. Show off my ugly tomatoes. All right, if any of you have taken any of the tours of my gardens before, things are looking a little ragged right now, but you got to remember, we're into September, and things are winding down, and it's been dry lately, and, you know, it's just how it looks in September. I always said that August, for gardeners, August is the month of regret and disappointment and a few successes thrown in to celebrate.
And what about September?
September, that's all behind you. You're thinking of next year already. Just remember, there's always next year.
You said this is a Mexican bean beetle larva?
Yep, that's what eats the leaves.
So they're still around?
Yep. Right above this patch is where I had my bird feeder hanging all winter. And they knocked a lot of seed out on the ground. I'm assuming this is millet because it sure looks like it. And we got a whole patch that came up. I didn't plant that. Volunteer millet patch. There's a green one. And I guess he's turning brown or starting to ripen. Let me open one.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah. Yeah, don't miss this one. I'll bring it over. That red. That's
so pretty.
What do they call it? Chimnea.
We did it again.
We did it.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching this channel, and if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like this, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, scroll down and click all so you won't miss anything right wherever I am. Bamboo Oasis, Late Bloomer Homestead, wherever I am. So thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video.
See y'all later.
So this is what holy basil looks like when it's dry.
Yeah.
So
Ready
this is
to be smoked or made in tea or whatever you're going to do.
These are so pretty.
Yeah, they taste good too.
Wow.
They're delicious.
You grow so many kinds of beans. I don't know how you can tell the difference in the taste.
They're all different. All right, here's how I save my tomato seeds, which is a super, super easy method. I mean, you'll hear about you need to ferment them and all that, and that is a good way to do it if you want perfectly clean seeds that you can sell or trade. But if you're just doing it for your own use, you don't need to bother with all that. I just took a tomato and squeezed everything out, and, you know, if I see a little pulp, I'll pull it off there, but I just I smash these seeds on there. And they're stuck, most of them, some are loose, most of them stick to that paper. Well, I'm going to fold this up and put it in a plastic bag and put it in the refrigerator. That's the best way to store seeds. And in the spring, when I want to plant, I just grab each seed individually and pull it off the paper. Sometimes you get a little paper comes with the seed. Well, that's not going to hurt anything. It's a little fertilizer or whatever. So
that is easy.
It's so easy, and I'll let them sit out for a week or two like this, just to make sure they're totally dry, and then I put them in the plastic bag and store them. I've never had any trouble with this method.